New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Live from a secure concrete bunker somewhere in Ohio, New Thought Media Network presents Pastor Michael Mangus with Friday's Fireside Chat, spiritual conversation for today. Here he is from the secret radio room, surrounded by thousands of watts, Pastor Michael Mangus.
All right. Well, good evening to everyone across the United States and also around the world. It is time, once again, for another fun-filled, thrill-packed, and yes, guaranteed, always exciting edition of the Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. Pastor Michael Mangus broadcasting this evening from the secret radio room surrounded by thousands, and I mean thousands of watts in an extremely secure concrete bunker somewhere around Akron, Ohio that is so top secret. Only one person outside of Diana and I knows where it's at, and that is our producer, Diego Reyes. Everyone else, including the Reverend Robert Brzezinski, our Chief Inspirational Officer, he has no clue where the super secret broadcast facility is located. And we are going to keep it that way. Once again, we have a wonderful show for you this evening. Please feel free to interact with us by posting your comment on Facebook. And again, for all my shy people out there, send me an email. You can do that. pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. So the purpose of our fireside chat here is to talk about contemporary issues from a New Thought perspective. And as I keep saying week after week, over and over again, I want us all to have a new thought about what is going on in the world and our part in it. So again, we're not to blame for it, but we can be a part of the healing force that brings about a world that does work for everyone. All right, to have us focus on our good this evening, we are giving equal time to Diana Mangus, RScP, for her take on the good news. All the good news stories after the break were handpicked, except one, by her to show the goodness in people and also the world. You see, she doesn't watch my show because she thinks it's too negative. Okay. So I'm having her on this evening to go ahead and to bring positivity to the Friday evening fireside chat. So live from the concrete bunker, somewhere around the corner and down the hall, it is my bunker mate, Diana Mangus, tonight here on the Fireside Chat on your New Thought Media Network. Saddened this evening because I have some news to report. We had the passing of a great champion in our religious science movement, Roberta Bobby Presley, RScP Emeritus. Bobby was a longtime member of the Science Mind Centers in Cleveland. Bobby served for many years as the president of the Practitioner Councils of United CSL. She stood up for the rights of practitioners and their place within our movement. Bobby was a retired university professor. She also taught CSL classes within our centers. Bobby will be missed by her congregation at Miracle Center for Spiritual Living, as well as her daughter Carol, son Gary, Mark, and also daughter Lisa. She's also preceded in death by 6 grandchildren. She's kept her memories kept alive by 6 grandchildren and 1 great grandchild. And I'm going to attend the service tomorrow. Again, we know that they are still living in spirit on the other side. I know Bobby's probably bossing some people around telling them what to do, which is pretty typical for her, but we're going to miss her here. Bobby Presley, again, with her sunset here in Cleveland, Ohio. All right, let's get to our news here. The latest from CNN, Hurricane Ian has made landfall in South Carolina. The storm made landfall along with the southwest coast of Florida as a Category 4 hurricane on Wednesday and as a Category 1 today. More than 33 people have been reported dead so far due to the storm. Search and rescue efforts are underway in the worst hit areas of Florida. Also, the conditions are extremely dangerous as Ian unleashed, including catastrophic flooding and life-threatening storm surges, and will continue as the storm moves into South Carolina, North Carolina, and also Georgia. Also in the news, at least 2 dead on Sanibel Island, which is now cut off from Florida's mainland after Ian's storm surge severed the causeway. As you can see, some of the pictures that we have there. Hurricane Ian has left at least 2 people dead on Sanibel Island and ripped away several parts of the causeway that was the island's only access to Florida's mainland. Roughly 200 households did not evacuate ahead of the storm, the mayor said. 12 people were rescued off the island with injuries, and about 40 people were rescued without injuries. The mayor told CNN, Sanibel City Manager Dana Souza reported 2 fatalities. Ron DeSantis, who is the governor in Florida, he says that the causeway will be rebuilt, but that's not something that will happen overnight. He also said that in a news conference that the area was hit with a biblical storm surge. Wow. Residents were asked to stay inside to avoid injuries and to allow first responders to assess the damage, Lee County officials said on Thursday. Our prayers are with the people of Florida. We have many CSL and Unity centers down there. I tried to get a call into a friend of mine down there. I have not heard back yet. Again, if we can help in any way, if your center's holding a fundraiser, please let us know at info@ntmedia.org. If you need support at all, let us pray with you. Prayer@ntmedia.org. Florida, we have your back. This was a once in a 500-year storm that you got hit with. So again, we have your back here as you rebuild and come back stronger here. Our next story is from the Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin announced on Friday the illegal annexation of 4 areas of occupied Ukraine, nearly a fifth of its territory, in the largest forcible annexation of land in Europe since 1945. Finland will close its borders to Russian tourists starting on midnight Friday, local time, amid record border crossings following Moscow's partial mobilization order. So what they're doing is they're conscripting people, men, to go ahead and to fight in Ukraine. At least 25 people have been killed in an attack by Russian forces on a civilian convoy led in the southeastern city of Ukraine. Ukrainian President Zelensky called those who carried out the attack downright terrorists. And again, our prayers for peace continue for the Ukraine and also all the troubled regions of Africa and the Middle East. Finally, the U.S. government to provide $266 million to build community public health workforce. The U.S. government is awarding more than $266 million from the American Rescue Plan to expand the nation's community and public health workforce, officials announced on Friday. The plan's overall investment in community health outreach and health education workers, totaling more than $1.1 billion, is one of the crown jewels, said Gene Sperling, who is the coordinator of the American Rescue Plan and the senior advisor to President Joe Biden. Sperling told CNN that the new grants alone may not be a long-term solution to underfunding in these crucial health areas, but he's quoted to say that, "I think it's going to provide the enthusiasm and the result will encourage more long-term investments." The administration's arm, the Biden administration, aim is to use these types of funds to build careers, to give people a chance to serve both their country during the pandemic, but also to build a public health career and also to be public community health workers that could in the future make a big difference. And we here at the New Thought Media Network, we do support our healthcare workers. You know, the one thing that we can provide at our centers is stress management classes and support. That's what we teach. We teach meditation. We teach affirmative prayer. All of those lessen stress. Now, my opinion here, views and opinions expressed are those of my own, is that the most spiritual thing that we can do here in our country is to offer universal health care like other Western countries. We are doing it already through our Medicare program. Those who want more coverage can do so by buying it through private insurance. So what is your thought? Diego, I think we broke the record this evening. I think we're at 12 minutes. Well, we have to leave time this evening for Diana's good news, of which there's a lot of really wonderful stories here. So our guest here after the break is the Summit Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter, their spiritual director, Diana Mangus, who will be speaking on the good news. And she has handpicked all of these stories except
one.
And I will point that out here in just a moment. Diana Mangus here with us in a few minutes here on our Friday evening fireside chat. Hope you're having a wonderful time this evening. So yours truly is parking himself at Summit CSL. For more information, please go to summitcsl.org. There and only there, you will find information about our wonderful Sunday gathering online at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific time. Grab your cup of coffee, your tea, your espresso, your boba tea. Please join us. I really do believe that we have one of the best services in New Thought. And this Sunday, we're going to have our own music director, John Miller, provide both the music and the message. So go to summitcsl.org for information on how to get into the Zoom call. It's really very, very easy. And also our service is simulcast on the Summit Spiritual Center of Akron Facebook page, and also carries past broadcast of yours truly doing prayer, of which I'll be doing this evening at 10:15 Eastern time. Diego, they're making me work here. What do you think? We have so many wonderful programs that I can't even begin to tell you. I mean, our fall schedule is packed. Full of new programs. We have new hosts coming in. And again, we ask that you just go to our website. Go to ntmedia.org. There, you will find our full schedule. Also, you will find our donate page. Our donate page really allows you to be a part of this move of spirit around the globe. You get to partner with us. Again, you get that good feeling of giving, but also you know that your gift is affecting someone else around the world. So please help us. Go to ntmedia.org/donate, give a very generous one-time gift, or do like I do, become a sustaining donor. Every single month, I give a certain amount. And again, that really helps us here at the network. All right. Time for break. And then we'll be back with the good news with Diana Mangus. This is the Friday evening fireside chat here on your New Thought Media Network.
Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, for your continued support. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown Atlanta, for your monthly contribution. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, for your monthly contribution. And please help us welcome Om Center for Spiritual Living in La Mesa, California. Thank you for your monthly donation. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, for your most generous donation. And a special thanks to Hefferlin Foundation for your generous technology grant. And Suze Ajit, thank you for your very generous donation. And a super special thank you to Dr. Tracy Brown, RScP. Thanks for being a super donor. And a big shout out to all our committed donors.
New Thought Media Network is on the rise. We're looking to grow with you. Do you have technical media experience or perhaps a desire to learn? Are you willing to volunteer your precious time and attention? We share this message to benefit all. If you possess a computer with a camera and a microphone, we will share our knowledge with you. Behind the scenes or being the star, let us bless our one. Contact us at info@ntmedia.org.
The views and opinions expressed by Pastor Michael Mangus are generally right. However, they are his own and do not reflect the views and opinions of New Thought Media Network, Centers for Spiritual Living, or any other person living or dead. As they say in the 12-Step Recovery Program, take what you like and leave the rest. Here again is Pastor Michael.
Again, by popular demand, we are doing this evening the good news, picked out especially for you, except one story, by Summit Centers for Spiritual Living's their director, Diana Mangus, RScP, and we're glad to have her with us this evening, broadcasting from another part of the bunker, right?
Correct. Thank you.
Good to have you with us, and let's just get right into the news here. This is the good news. Now, is it true you don't watch my show, right?
Not all the time. I do watch it sometimes, but I do watch. Yeah, I'll admit I'll watch it sometimes.
Okay. So why don't you watch it?
Because I got tired of listening about COVID.
Oh, okay.
So
hold it, stop. That's Diego's favorite story. He lives for the COVID stories and updates. No, he doesn't.
It's not that. It was mostly, and it was because it was constant, so much about it, and it just felt a little negative. So, but did you notice that they now have a good news thing on right before us?
Right. You're correct. That's at 7:00 Eastern time, 5:00 Mountain, here on your New Thought Media Network. You're right.
And then they started it right after we started doing the first time we did our good news.
Right. Well, let me just tell you why I do the news. And because that I think that a lot of times that, especially people in our centers, that they go ahead and they discount what is going on out there rather than saying, okay, it's there, it's an effect, it gives me something to pray about. So that's one of the reasons why I do it. And again, we've shortened the news over a period of a couple of years to less than 20 minutes. We usually have a guest or two, again, who talks about New Thought topics. So we're getting there.
You are.
And that I think that it's important to take a look at the world and say, this is what we're dealing with right now. What is our part in it? So let's get to the good news. The first one, a wedding officiant surprised a deaf flower girl by using sign language. This sweet video has people in tears. There's a picture of the little girl and also the officiant. A video of a wedding officiant using sign language for a deaf flower girl has the internet reaching for its happy tear tissues. Christina Bacala, who is the groom's sister and mom of 22-month-old daughter Riley, had no idea that ASL, American Sign Language, would be incorporated into the ceremony. I was a bridesmaid, and so I started sobbing so hard when I realized he wasn't just moving his hands, he was signing the word family. In a now virtual Instagram post, Bacala shared that officiant Randy Latini, who's also married to the bride's sister, didn't make it a big deal. He didn't tell anyone, but it was a big deal to us, Bacala wrote. It signifies that the two families that are joined on this day recognize that they have a deaf family member, and they'll make an effort to include, love, and support her. I mean, she's pretty cute. How could you not love and support her? Bacala said. And Latini also told today that he reached out to a teacher of the deaf at the school where he works. I sent her what I wanted to say, and she sent me a video showing to sign those phrases. And after that, I just had to practice. So the officiant did not know ASL. So he had to practice the actual words so that, again, that the young deaf girl could understand. In the research, the Bacalas learned that sign language is the only 100% accessible language for deaf people. Both parents picked it up right away, and Latini clearly also has a knack for ASL. That's the wedding officiant. Though Riley is too young to fully understand Latini's sweet gesture, it meant the world to the family. It was Randy's way of saying Riley is a member of our family, and she used the sign language to communicate. So we will too, Bacala said, and the message is about inclusivity. Go ahead, Diana. Why did you pick that one?
Well, you're a wedding officiant, so I figured you would like that just to hear that. But, you know, it's great that they did that. The little, you know, she may not have understood, but again, to welcome the whole family into it and to do the signing and to learn, and it's going to be great for the little girl as well as the rest of the family. But you know what? I know that you love things about wedding officiants anyways, since you do a lot of weddings. So yes. I knew you would probably start with this one, to be honest with you. So it's a great story, and I think that's it was a wonderful way, and to do that took some practice. Mm-hmm. So especially if you don't know ASL. All right, our second story this evening: a guard cat named Bandit helped stop an armed robbery at the home of a Mississippi man. This is from the Associated Press. A Mississippi man said that his pet cat helped prevent a robbery at his home, and he credits his Calico with possibly saving his life. Bandit, a 20-pound cat, lives with her retired owner, Fred Everett, in the Tupelo suburb of Belden. When at least two people tried to break into their shared home last week, the cat did everything that she could to alert Everett of the danger. You hear of guard dogs, Everett said. This is a guard cat. The attempted robbery occurred somewhere between
2:30 and 3 a.m. on July 25th. He was first awakened by Bandit's meows in the kitchen, and then she raced into the bedroom, jumped onto the bed, and began pulling the comforter off of him and clawing his arms. Everett knew that something was wrong. She's never done that before, Everett said. And I went, what in the world is wrong with you? So Everett got up to investigate and saw two young men outside his back door. One had a handgun and the other was using a crowbar to try to get in by prying the door open. Everett said by the time that he retrieved a handgun and returned to the kitchen, the would-be intruders had already fled. Everett told the newspaper that he did not call the police. He said that the situation could have been different without Bandit. It did not turn into a confrontational situation, thank goodness, Everett said. But I think it's only because of the cat. And Everett adopted Bandit from the Tupelo Lee Humane Society 4 years ago. Now, Diego, do you think that Winston Churchill, the chief mascot here at the New Thought Media Network, do you think he would do the same thing? He'd probably get mad that they woke him up. There he is. Our mascot, Winston the pig. Yes. So what made you pick that story, Diana?
Well, I kind of had a little theme going. I was trying to get a little bit of everything. Children, animals, just good news in general, and cats. You don't hear about cats saving people's lives as much as you do dogs. So, and I'm partial to a cat. I hate to say that, but I like dogs too, but I really like cats a little bit better. And the fact that that cat did everything they could to get him up and saved him, really. So cats are, they may, the big thing with cats is they're in the moment. And when they're in the moment, they don't care what's going on generally.
Yes.
Around them. But obviously, this cat cared and took care of his owner.
Oh, how nice. Well, our next story. Oh, if you're wondering what you have stumbled onto this evening, this is the Friday Evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. Our next story, UK residents can win a good night's sleep in the world's first B&B to offer actual sheep counting. Located near Fireside in dreamy rural Sussex, in a field full of the fluffy farm animals, a sleep dome is offering the chance to doze off counting real sheep. The small glamping outfit, created by a sleep technology company, will host 2 guests and feature a luxurious double bed with views of the surrounding hillsides from all angles. So after dinner and settling in for the night, the guests then will be encouraged to count the numbered sheep as they walk about their paddock before gently drifting off into a blissful slumber beneath the stars. So daylight will herald a guided yoga session and a breakfast full of locally sourced food. Now let's see if I can make sure that I pronounce this. The Sleep. The Sleep Sanctuary was created by sleep tech company Emma Sleep, and they have launched a contest offering 2 people the chance to try it when it opens next summer. The dome was created after a poll of 2,000 adults, and they found that 44% have struggled to get to sleep this year. So counting sheep is more than an old wives' tale. It is a tried and true method of falling asleep that Brits have relied upon for years. They also long for a sense of a peaceful and serene environment to drift off in when they're struggling to relax, which is incredibly important for sleep quality. When practiced on a regular basis, these kind of exercises have proven to lower the heart rate by encouraging slower breathing and activating the parasympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system, said the sleep scientist at Emma. The aim is to use as much cognitive capacity as possible so that worrying thoughts are suppressed. The study showed that this not only shortens the time it takes to fall asleep, but also improves sleep quality. For your chance to win a night stay at the Sleep Sanctuary. Boy, if I messed that up. Diego, do you think I'd be called into the office on Monday morning? He's not saying anything. So if you'd like to register to get to sleep in the Sleep Sanctuary with a guest of your choice, again, just go online. And that's under Emma Sleep and the Sleep Sanctuary. Why did you pick that, Diana?
Because I couldn't sleep the night before. And I needed a way to think about counting sheep. But the idea of going to to England to get it, and then to sleep under the stars, and then to actually see those sheep that are actually numbered walking around. Thought,
How
hey,
about
that'd be
that?
fun. And it would also be very, hopefully, allowing you to get some really good sleep, I hope. It just looked like fun. So that's why I picked this one.
Well, you are listening this evening to the good news, picked out especially for you this evening by the spiritual director of the Summit Center for Spiritual Living, Diana Mangus, who is a licensed practitioner. And so our next story, jet fuel derived from used cooking oil is certified airworthy for large-scale production in China. A Chinese petroleum company has just obtained an airworthy certificate for their new biological jet fuel that is made of used cooking oil. It will be the first time that large-scale production of biojet fuel will serve the aviation industry in China after the first batch was sent to Airbus on September the 19th. The airworthiness certificate means that Sinopec can sell the biojet fuel produced to aviator operators nationwide in China. Aviation is one of the last remaining transportation sectors that still has no decisive alternatives to fossil fuel. In Western countries, they use, for the buses, they use natural gas and other things. But Western companies are also trying out bio-based fuels, including cooking oil. The refinery has an annual designated processing capacity of 100,000 tons and adopts Sinopec's biojet fuel production to produce the fuel. The plant's first batch in June produced around 600 tons. So Sinopec was testing used cooking oil for jet fuel back in 2011 and the refinery has already obtained Asia's first global sustainable aviation fuel certification issued by the Roundtable on Sustainable Biomaterials, which is a key pass for China's biojet fuel to enter into the international market. Now, you and I knew a scientist who was working on biofuels from the Brahmakumaris. We don't know what happened to her, but we know that there has been an effort here in our country to produce biofuels, and that individuals have taken cooking oil from fast food restaurants and they turned it into biodiesel.
Yeah.
And they go around and the exhaust smells like
French
a
fries.
French fry. So why'd you pick this out, Diana?
Because I knew that they've been doing that here in this country, at least with cars. I had not heard of it going to jet fuel yet. And I having my many years of my fast food management experience, I knew that that biotech stuff was really coming forward. It may smell like French fries, but it has it's really coming along. They've really increased it a lot. But I really thought it was really neat now that they're going as far as jet fuel. And, and the thing is there's so much of that from a waste perspective or what they do with it. I mean, they sell it, they do it they use other things. They make soap out of it, things like that. But the fact how much oil is used every week. I know how in just one fast food restaurant. And think of the, thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of restaurants that are out there, not including all the other restaurants that may be using oil. What a way to go ahead and recycle and make our energy better, cheaper.
So how many gallons of oil did you go through when you were working at the fast food restaurant? How many gallons?
Depending upon the restaurant and how busy it was, but the average one would be we did it by pounds of oil, and it would not you would have to change the oil basically at the longest, usually 10 days. You would filter it. But so you're talking about every 1,000 pounds, every 800 to 1,000 pounds of oil every day. Or week. I'm sorry.
Right. So they just don't throw it down the drain. They
no.
have a company that comes and picks it up. But now there's other uses now to be able to take what has been, again, it's been used. And again, like Diana says, it's used for soap and other things. But now that they can go ahead and they can take the cooking oil and convert it into biofuel so that we do not have to keep putting carbon into the atmosphere.
Right.
And that just to make the world a lot better place for everyone else. So good for you, China. How wonderful. All right. If you wondered what you stumbled onto this evening, hi there. This is the Friday evening fireside chat here on your New Thought Media Network. Pastor Michael Mangus, along with the spiritual director and also my wife, who lives in the concrete bunker with me, the very distinguished Diana Mangus, RScP, who handpicked these stories except for this next one.
And I knew you would end up picking it when you pulled up the other ones.
John Cena smashes the Guinness World Record, granting 650 wishes for sick children. American actor and WWE superstar John Cena has set a new record for the most wishes granted through the Make-A-Wish Foundation with 650. The Make-A-Wish Foundation helps fulfill the wishes of children who have been diagnosed with a critical illness. As the most wished-for celebrity, nobody else has ever granted more than 200 wishes in the 42-year existence of Make-A-Wish. Targeting children between the ages of 2 and 18, they can choose to meet a celebrity, go to an event, or even give a gift to someone else. And we're thrilled to honor Cena as the man who has fulfilled the most wishes. This is what he said. He says, "If you ever need me for this ever, I don't care what I'm doing. I will drop what I'm doing and be involved because I think that it is the coolest thing." Cena said in a recent interview after being honored for 500 wishes granted, "I just drop everything, and if I can offer a fantastic experience, I will be the first in line to do my part." Cena began his career in professional wrestling back in 1999 and has since gone on to become one of the most popular athletes of all time, and he is the 16-time world heavyweight champion. I think I should have been a ring announcer. A crowd favorite character and the face for WWE's Be a Star anti-bullying campaign. He granted his first wish for the foundation in 2002 and 2012. Cena granted Make-A-Wish 1,000th wish to a fan named Carden. Once receiving the opportunity to meet Cena, the children take photos and hang out with their favorite wrestler and sometimes even venture inside the ring and beat John Cena. Cena is usually accompanied by one of his championship belts, but he has held the WWE Championship 16 times and often lets kids try it on. So why do you think I picked that story, Diana?
Because you love wrestling. And that's why you picked that, because you absolutely love wrestling. But and I knew it would probably get in there anyways, just because, like I said, it was when the other ones was looking, it was right above one of the other ones I've had you pull up. So, and what a great story. I mean, how can 650 it was? That is fabulous. For him to be able to take the time to do that with all those kids, that is so important.
Yes, and he has been known again to literally just drop everything that he's doing to go do this. So John Cena, who is not wrestling anymore, he is in Hollywood pursuing an acting career now, but again, he is one of the most popular WWE wrestlers of all time. And again, that he goes out there and does good things. Well, Diana, before we go into our last story, tell us about Summit Center for Spiritual Living and how they can come on Sunday mornings and watch your wonderful broadcast.
Well, we meet every Sunday morning at 10:30 at Summit CSL. And it's that's Eastern time, so 7:30 Pacific. And we have a small group, but we're working on hoping to get more people that are there on a regular basis. But we have wonderful speakers. I have to say we're wonderful. I mean, one of them's Michael, our musician, John. He's fabulous. And then we also have a guest musician once a month, and he's also fabulous too. And they both do their own music. And they're very, very, very great. They're always have a spiritual slant to them, very uplifting. That part's great. So we are very blessed to have such good musicians. And then we also have, I speak a little bit once in a while, but we have just a nice time of trying to teach the science of mind and the things that you can do to help your life be better in your prayer life, your meditation, your just in general, finding good through love, because that's our theme, is that to find good through love. So
if you'd like more information, go on summitcsl.org. There you'll find more information about the community, and we'd love to see you some Sunday. That would be wonderful. All right. We are down to the final story. You usually hear all the horror stories about the airlines. Well, this is different. Southwest airline workers looked after a passenger's pet fish for 4 months after it was banned from the flight. A pair of Southwest airline employees volunteered to become a mom and dad to a passenger's fish after the passenger was told that she could not embark with the animal. Kira was returning home from her freshman year at college with her fish, Theo, when she was told that it would be not allowed on her flight. So that's when the Southwest agent, Ishmael, and his fiancee, Jamie, offered to take care of the fish so that she would not miss her flight. The COVID-19 pandemic was followed by the Airline 22 pandemic, a summer of widespread airline travel disruptions to rival any that came before it. Last summer was really interesting trying to find a plane. Social media is awash with stories of airport nightmares, but Southwest took to Twitter to show off their exceptionally large-hearted agents as they took Theo, the fish, home and even bought him a new bowl over the summer. That is so nice. Texting airport fish taker, Kira asked how Theo was doing on July 31st, and they text back, he is doing great. The 2 Southwest airline employees took care of the fish for 4 months until the 2 were reunited back in Tampa. Now entering her sophomore year, Kira brought a gift card as a way of thanking the agents. There have been many stories of airline company employees, from agents to pilots, making the effort to soothe troubled travelers this year. A couple of really wonderful stories here. GNN, that's the Good News Network that we often use for both the good news on the New Thought Media Network, which is at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, reported in July that when a 6-year-old lost her tooth on board a flight to South Carolina, the flight pilot wrote her an official letter to the Tooth Fairy after she realized that she would not be able to go back on board to look for it. And her mother, Laura, shared the story on Instagram and Facebook as a break from the world of bad airline stories. So, Diana, why did you pick that one?
Again, it's just one of those little things that people can do to help somebody else out. Simple thing, actually. I mean, to take care of a fish, it's not that hard to take care of a fish. I would probably kill it, but most people don't. As long as you feed it and maybe change the water once in a while, generally they last. But that's nice thing, just the fact that they took it home, they took care of it, and then when the time came when they were able to give it back to her. Little things like that mean so much to people. A little comment, a little, sometimes just a smile. Just giving a smile makes a big difference. And I know with the masks and stuff, you can't always see the smiles, but people can see the smile in your eyes too when you do that, because when you smile, your eyes light up. And so they may be covered, the smile itself may be covered by the mask, but people can tell you're smiling. So it's just nice to have another one of those little treats. And yes, and I went through the same thing with Southwest Airlines, actually, not on my own little journey of getting stuck in the airport so because of flights and stuff. But I mean, they were still very nice and stuff, but that it wasn't, it was just a normal thing. But the thing was that they were still very nice, and it's nice to see positive stuff.
Yes. And especially since what happened last summer with all the airplane flights that did not get off the ground, right, including you had one canceled, and again you had to spend the night in the airport terminal.
Right.
And so thank you, Diana Mangus, for joining us this evening with the good news. That was fun. Thank you. Join us again sometime. We'd really appreciate that. Would you?
Yes, I will.
All
yeah.
Right. Well, that's from
if you want me back.
Oh, that's okay. I'll have to pay you a fee, though.
Well, I that's part of it. I borrowed some money, so that is part of the fee, the return. So,
all right. CSL of Akron's spiritual director, that is Diana Mangus. Thank you so very much for joining us this evening. We really appreciate that. Secure our concrete bunker again. Okay.
Yes, I will.
All right.
In fact, we weren't so secure when we went out earlier, but now we're not. Yeah,
we are secure. Okay, all right.
We are secure now. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, time for us to go here. I'd like to remind you again, all of our wonderful things here on our network. Go to ntmedia.org. There you will find all of our programs, and also, if you could, go on the donate page. Really appreciate the support. On behalf of myself and also my producer extraordinaire, Diego Reyes, and Diana Mangus, this is Pastor Michael Mangus, and I am wishing you a wonderful week.
Thanks for joining us this evening for Friday's Fireside Chat with Pastor Michael Mangus. Join us again next week at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain for more spiritual conversations for today. For more information and replays of past shows, please visit the New Thought Radio and Media Network's Facebook page. Until next week, may God bless you richly and abundantly.
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.